Welcome. This message is for anyone who needs to hear this message. Spirit, what is in the third energy between this collective and their person, please? I am now shuffling the wisdom of the Oracle deck. If you'd like more information about any of the decks I'll be using in this reading today, please see the description field beneath this video. And we have the Observer. No, it did come out in the reverse. So that's giving Page of Swords energy. It's also giving Hangman energy. Your person's keeping a very close eye on you, collective. They may be stalking you on social media. They may have fake accounts. They may be holding back a little to gain a new perspective on you, on this connection, on relationships in general. They may be gathering information about you. They may be gathering information about sacred partnership, about ascension, about twin flames, soulmates, trying to figure out what it is all about, maybe even why they incarnated, why they came. Something about here, the meaning of life, the mystery of life. Some of them may be going through a bit of an existential crisis in the process, is also what I'm hearing. Spirit, what else is in the third energy between this collective and their person, please? I am now shuffling the I'm going to use the Spellcasting Oracle deck. Just laying out a few Oracle cards to get a snapshot into the energies between you and your person. And then we will transition into a full tarot spread, followed by some further Oracle card guidance. In fact, I'm going to debut a new Oracle card deck that I have channeled myself. And we will close your reading out today also with a timeline Oracle card. So if you'd like to know when, please stay tuned till the end. Okay. And we have life purpose. Okay. So that was confirming what was coming through my channel there. They may be questioning their life purpose. For some of them, since they've connected with you, they understand their life purpose to be very different, much more meaningful than it once was potentially. You've set them on a very different path. Some of them may be awakening to hidden soul's gifts, their latent potential. Some of them may be awakening to higher expanded states of consciousness. Some of them may be reclaiming their inner divinity. I'm picking up on an energy of psychic wounds. Perhaps they've revoked their psychic gifts in other lifetimes, potentially past religious lifetimes. And they are needing to reclaim them and recover them. And potentially hone them as well, especially if they have ESP, which many people watching this video will have ESP, is my sense. All right, let's see. Let's get you a Romance Angels card now. What else is in the third energy between this collective and their person, please? And we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Now that did come out in the reverse. Yeah, so I was picking up on an energy that was pulled back, that was holding back. You know, it's funny, as I'm getting into the interpretation of that card, I feel like I have a frog in my throat. Can you hear me? So I feel like there's a clairsentient message. Your person may have trouble speaking up. Your person may have trouble taking a stand. And I'm hearing that it's not just toward you, it's toward others. I won't be surprised in your tarot spread, for example, if 7 of Wands comes out. You know, they may be experiencing multiple tests of faith to help them grow strength and power, to help them be able to muster the courage to express themselves to you and to reveal the contents of their heart. For some of them, they may have relationship wounds from past romantic endeavors, I'm hearing. Or, in fact, relationships, past marriages. For some of them, it's deeper than that. For some of them, it's early childhood trauma. Okay, let's see. Let's transition into your tarot spread now. Spirit, what surrounds the collective's person as it concerns the collective, please? What is he or she thinking? How is he or she feeling? Where is their connection headed? Just focus on your person for me so that your intuition can merge with mine and we can get you the most timely, up-to-date, and accurate information. I'm working with 2 decks again today, Colette Baron-Reid's Good Tarot and one of John Holland's decks. And I may clarify again we'll use the Tarot of Mystical Moments by Katrin Weltstein today for clarifiers. Okay. Okay, so presently we have 8 of Swords, helpless, hopeless, sense of victim consciousness. There are some self-limiting beliefs that are blocking your person's ability to express their love to you, is what I see. A lot of this is just societal conditioning. Some of it is family programming, ancestral programming. For some of them, they spend a lot of time obsessing over this connection up in their head. It feels more generalized too. I mean, it's certainly about you, but it's about other things. They obsess over everything. They're coming through as having some major control issues. They have a tendency to shut down in the face of fear. Somewhere, I think I've quoted this in another video recently, and it's a quote that I came across by, I think it's Dan Brown, who observed about male psychology, or we could just say masculine psychology. Doesn't really matter what the person's gender is. So this would just be describing the inner masculine. So there's the tendency to avoid what they fear, or we fear, rather than go after what they desire. So there's a strong energy of that here. The John Holland deck depicts a figure in a dry desert searching for an oasis, searching for the way out. There's a light in the distance, but it feels like it's a very, very, very long way off. Is it a mirage even? And what crosses that is 6 of Swords, the need to make a transition out of this way of being. Yeah, there's a sense of stuckness that's coming through there. Sense of rigidity. Two Swords cards. I mean, Six of Swords is a more hopeful card because it, you know, it suggests transition, recovery, and peaceful resolutions, especially after if we consider the narrative of the tarot and Five of Swords. There's been a conflict, and that can be about a defeat. So, you know, they want to move forward. And sometimes when this card comes up, especially if there are residual ego issues, for some watching this video, their person may think that means that they need to move on. And they may be trying to move on because that just might be their MO. And when we're involved in karmic relationships, that's often what happens, because when there's karma, negative karma we experience with people, it's easier usually to just walk away. And often in these types of relationships, after we've fully learned the soul lesson, there isn't a purpose for that person in our life anyway, but there's something different with you. Certainly, we already see this here because you the life purpose card, you have lit up their life purpose. You have, in other words, you have activated their divine blueprint. So this isn't just a karmic connection. This holds the potential to transform. So that makes it a spiritual connection. But there can be a karmic aspect of that in karmic soulmates and twin flames that needs to be resolved, needs to be balanced before the connection can physicalize here down on earth. And that's a process of healing, really, a process of change, a process of transformation. What are they aware of as it concerns you? Okay, so there's a fear factor here. This came up recently in another reading. The solar plexus chakra has some imbalance. So yeah, that goes back to what I was saying earlier with that Dan Brown quote about how it's easier to avoid what they fear rather than go after what they desire. Yeah. For some of them, they may have some addiction issues. Often when there's blockage at that level, that can indicate health abuse, especially alcohol addiction. Could also indicate angry outbursts. Anger tends to hang out in the solar plexus chakra, and then it can, if we don't deal with it, it can somatize. We can end up having liver issues as a result of that. There may also be some unexpressed anger. For some of them, it could even be therapeutic to, I'm hearing like, to join either like, I don't know, a gun club or, a kickboxing or some way to get that anger and tension out of their body. I feel like you can even go on an anger retreat. Like you can go up to the mountains and like throw plates and bottles at trees. It's that can be cathartic if it's controlled that way. Obviously, we don't want to do that in a domestic environment. I'm getting the sense that there's some more purging they need to do in order to be ready to express themselves in a constructive way too, because there's something destructive here that I'm picking up on. And then when we combine that with that Eight of Swords energy, the self-limiting beliefs, they may be prone to self-sabotaging. They may be numbing themselves to excess too, through alcohol. Could it be other forms of addictions? We'll see if that comes through. The deck I just channeled does have some different addiction related messaging. So we'll see if that comes through, to see if we can get you more information on what that may be. Beneath them as it concerns you. Now, there's a sense of burden. Yeah, and that often goes hand in hand. When there's addiction issues, we often need to decompress at the end of the day somehow. So that can be a very common way. Use of alcohol, use of addiction. I'm also picking up on work addiction too with the 10 of Wands. It's a very heavy burden. There's issues here with work-life balance as well. There's lots of responsibilities your person may have. Could be family obligations. They could have a very high-powered job. Lots of demands being put upon them. You know, at one point you may have seemed like another demand and they may have self-sabotaged. There's a sense of needing to cast off their burdens. They do feel strongly for you. I mean, 10 of Wands is, wands are about passion. So, I mean, there's a lot of passion they feel toward you, but they don't have a constructive way of expressing it to you just yet. They seem to sublimate their creative energy into their work for many of them, but they do it to excess, and then they end up having like major decompressive issues at the end of the day. Some of them may also, there's some numbing agent they're using to manage all that. Could also be emotional eating, overuse of caffeine. In some cases, over-exercise too. These burdens need to be cast off before they can come toward you and express their love to you. Now, there's another, since life purpose came up in the beginning, for some of them, whatever they are working away at, I'm getting the sense that they may not be intended to succeed at that, because whatever they're doing, it may not be in alignment with their life purpose anymore. So it's like 10 can sometimes be the completion of something. So for some of them, in order to cast off their burdens, in other words, they may need to find a new job, or they may need to leave their workplace, or they may need to start delegating so it frees them up to have more time to hone some of their soul's original gifts. For some of them, their life purpose might be, I think this came through in another reading, like if they have a North Node in the 7th house of partnership marriage, for example, their life purpose might be tied to the union with you, for example, in which case, they may need to do some conscious work, counseling, to help relieve some of these anger issues we see they have, and other inner child work in order to be more ready for relationship with you. Behind them, as it concerns you, okay, we have the High Priestess, so that feels like your energy, deep soul connection you share with this person. Yeah, and what was coming through in the beginning was spiritual gifts, something here about spiritual study. Yeah, that might be tied to their life purpose. It's tied to your life purpose too. You may be a psychic seer yourself. You're coming through as being highly empathic. You and your person have a deep telepathic connection. You're very mysterious to your person. You're very magnetic to your person. Yeah, there's something here also about hidden talents that are needing to be honed so that your person can help, so that those talents can help your person further their cause. And I do see that you are their biggest wish come true. 9 of Cups is upright in the immediate future. So that's a beautiful thing. Not only is there a deep spiritual psychic connection between the two of you, there's also a deep emotional connection. You've been helping your person get more in tune with his or her emotional body. For some of them, also the blockage at the solar plexus could indicate that they have, prior to meeting you, had been suppressing their emotions. Let's see, what are their next possible actions towards you? What do they want to do in the immediate future? What do they want to do? How do they plan to make their dreams come true? What's the plan? Let's see. Okay, so we have death. So something needs to end first. It feels like it's clarifying the burden we were picking up on. For some of them, it's an addiction issue that they need to heal. The High Priestess could also indicate someone, a counselor. I mean, you were the High Priestess, but it can indicate needing to talk to another High Priestess. Could be someone religious, but could also just be a counselor or therapist. For some of them, they fear that if they don't take an action toward you soon, that you're going to be the one that got away, that the connection will end. Some of them may fear an ending. Also, if they're ill-prepared, like if they come towards you and they're not fully ready, they may fear rejection. They may fear that their dreams won't come true, and that's another reason why they've been holding back. This is also, death is also, it's not just about endings, it's about transformation too. So transforming these limiting beliefs into higher consciousness some way, somehow. There's different ways of doing that depending on what resonates. I mean, energy healing can be good for that too. Release statements, subconscious release statements can help rewire the brain. Things like emotional freedom technique or tapping can be a good way of releasing trauma. The butterfly hug can be good for that. EMDR. That's very good. The EMDR and the EFT is very good for those recovering from post-traumatic stress disorder too. In the event your person is a veteran. Okay. Where else is this headed, please? What else is the collective's person's next possible action? This could be another action, another clarifier, or it could be for an entirely different demographic. Let's see what wants to come through. What else are they prepared to do? Okay, King of Wands, and it's upright. Okay, so they want to take action. They want to do so swiftly. They want to muster the courage to be able to calm and make their dreams come true with you. It's a king. He's the fire element. Could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Doesn't have to be though. He will initiate, he will lead. He's very passionate, especially when we combine that with the Ten of Wands. There's a lot of passion here, a lot of desire. So, to go back again to that Dan Brown quote, avoid what they fear, go after what they desire. So, the King of Wands does go after what he desires. So that's interesting. So we see a progression there. Okay. So what else, please? What else? Another message for another demographic. And we have another king that came out. We have the King of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. So that king is commitment phobic. So this feels like for another demographic, that's another message that's coming through, that your person wants everything with you, but they're afraid of committing. For some of them, the finances might not be quite right yet, and it may be contingent upon honing more of their soul's original gifts, like what was coming through in the beginning. For some of them, they may be afraid that they have to make it up to you in some way. And it may have to do with creating a new revenue stream that might be tied again to life purpose in some way, a new hobby, a new talent, potentially some type of new certification or training. For some of them, it might be a divorce settlement that they're waiting on. Let's get some further oracle card guidance for you. I'm going to first start with James Von Prague's The Soul's Journey Lesson cards. Let's just see what comes through here. This will give us more of a look at you or your person's emotional body here. So what is needing to be healed? Let me ask that question. What is needing to be healed? For the collective or for their person, please? What is needing to be healed here? What is blocking action? What is blocking commitment? Let's find out here. Okay, patience, but it came out in the reverse, so that would really mean impatience. Okay, I accept that everything happens in divine order. Okay. So you may have been waiting for your person to come toward you for a considerable period of time, collective. So if we're in a waiting energy, that can make us frustrated, right? It can make us impatient. So it's good as much as possible to get off the subject of your person and try to focus on your own life purpose, right? What is that for you? And then that just helps balance the energy a little bit more, because that's coming through as being a little polarizing. So it's interesting how if we're too focused, where our intention or attention goes, energy flows. If we're too focused on one thing, that often can create stagnation. And sometimes it doesn't just create stagnation in that one life structure. Sometimes it will create which is counterintuitive, but sometimes it will create stagnation in all life structures, and that can be super frustrating, right? So there's something here about pressure. Your person, it's interesting that the King of Wands can be about courage under fire. But, you know, your person has been taking a while to build up the courage to mature into the King of Wands with the blockage of the solar plexus level there. I do see you're a source of encouragement for them with the High Priestess behind them, and you have been for a considerable period of time. So I feel like you're almost there, collective, with this person. But, yeah, there might just be some changes you're being asked to make as well, and that would just give you the highest timeline. Okay, what else, please? Do you want the collective to know, Spirit, about their person or about their connection? What are they needing to heal? Service. I feel good when I can help others. Yeah, so that goes back to life purpose, and that just seems to be clarifying like what was coming through before. So as much as possible, thy will be done through me. Thy will be done for me. So it's like if we're overly attached to an outcome, if we have expectations, if we have preferences, then that's my will, right? And that's all solar plexus stuff. Sometimes that can, you know, indicate ego issues, issues of pride, just attachments to results, or, you know, could even be doing healing work for an agenda. All of that needs to be released and surrendered. And then you can take that energy and channel it, sublimate it really into selfless service. Thy will be done through me. That activates the 5th chakra. And that goes back to the express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So you, collective, may need to activate your 5th chakra a little bit more yourself in order to activate your divine blueprint more. And that also, it activates your soul song at the heart chakra level too. And it will start to make you even more magnetic to your person. Okay, what else needs to be healed in this connection, please? One further message on happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. Beautiful. That did come out in the reverse. So I'm picking up an energy of codependency here. So we have to be our own source of happiness. We can't rely on other people to make us happy. You can think that of happiness as being a quality of the divine. If we raise vibration, it can make us happy, but often happiness can be very ephemeral, right? And often if it feels like it's something that's fleeting, it can indicate that we are externalizing it. So it's good to find that within. And the quickest way of doing that is, you know, certainly doing things that make you happy is a good start, but recognizing that the source of happiness is the divine, is spirit, is not your person. Okay. I'm also picking up on your person may be, to go back to the codependent message that came through, person may be a little codependent on you for happiness. They may go to you as a source of happiness, especially with that 10 of Wands energy. They're not really having a good time on mission right now, is the sense I get. They're not really, there's a sense of disconnection, chaos, conflict, burden, pressure. Okay, I'm going to use this new channel deck here. Let's get you some further messages. Spirit, what does this collective need to know about their person or about the connection, please? What else? Let's tie their reading together with these further messages. Okay. And we have legal advice. Okay, that's interesting. So some of this 10 of burdens may involve, I was picking up in an energy of counseling, but your person may also need to consult a lawyer, particularly if they haven't divorced a karmic partner yet. And that might be why for some of you, the King of Pentacles is in the reverse. As I pull out these channeled messages here, just stay with what resonates. Okay, what else, please, does this collective need to know about their person or about their connection? We have new hobbies. Okay, interesting. So again, that's reaffirming what was coming through about continuing to hone soul's original gifts. And so that also helps you. So this may be therapeutic too. It may be stress relieving, the new hobbies, but it may also just help you, collective, take your energy off your person more of the time. I'm getting the sense that for your person, that may be tied to service in some way too, or their mission in some way. Like, for example, that was coming through off of that King of Pentacles card is that they may need to hone some of their soul's original gifts to create a new revenue stream. And particularly if they have a lot of financial obligations, responsibilities already, if they're needing to find a way of generating more wealth to further the commitment with you. Okay. What else is coming through here? Other messages for this collective about their person or about their connection. We have, okay, third party, romantic third party. Okay. So some of them could have been casually dating someone else, and that could have been a block. It's not coming through as a marriage. So that there is a third factor for some of you here. And if that's the case, this is something that you already know about. And that also might be what needs to end here with the Death card. Like, that may need to end first. It's not necessarily someone your person has been married to. Okay, any other messages? Let's get 2 more, please. 2 more for this collective or for their person. And then another message that's coming through is your person may fear you have a new romantic third party, and that might be why they're keeping a close eye on you with the Observer card there. And we also have narcissist empath dynamic. Okay, so there could be a bit of a power struggle in this connection. You may be the empath, your person may be the narcissist, and recognize that those are, you don't want to identify with those labels. That's kind of more just there to describe the quality of the energy. And usually when that type of dynamic is in place, it's been long established. It was set up during childhood. So that would have been, it's bleeding over, in other words, from the connection with your person's parents. And in fact, they could even have an over-involved parent that is still in their life. And that might be what some of this 10 of Burdens energy is. Oh, okay. So here's another message that's coming through. This is a specific message. The legal advice may not be a divorce. It may involve some type of restraining order that your person needs, not against you, but against some relative or against some other romantic third party. It's giving like fatal attraction energy. Ooh, okay. Getting off that subject there. That's a very specific message that might just be for one person watching this video. Okay, one further channeled message here for this collective. And we have dating casual. Okay, so, your person may be afraid that you have moved on and you're dating people casually. You know, for some of you, that could be a piece of advice to help remove your focus from your person. I mean, that can be a strategy to casually date other people if you're able to do that. Sometimes that, in my experience, as a twin flame, that can just create confusion. But you know, stay with what resonates for you. If that feels like a good, fun thing to do that brings you happiness, right? If it raises your vibration, then yeah, that could be something to try out. Another connection I'm making is that, yeah, when you and your person met originally, you could have been casually dating other people. Your person may not have been looking for anything more committed at the time, but then they caught feelings for you. And they weren't prepared to move forward with you at an earlier point in time. Because of unresolved wounds, that the strength of the connection started to bring up for them. So they may have started to distance, they may have blocked you, they may have ghosted you at some point in time. Okay, let's get you some timeline cards to close out this reading. So Spirit, when can this collective expect, excuse me, a shift in this connection, please? When can they expect to hear from their person? Next, please. Woo, too many again. All right. Just 3 or 4 of these, please, not the whole deck. Okay. So we're getting 3 days for some of you. It did come out in the reverse, so I'll take that to mean within 3 days. Some kind of message. You know, since there's still some of that stock energy that's coming off of the Observer card, you know, you might receive a notification from them in 3 days. Since it came out in the reverse, maybe they'll unblock you. If they blocked you on social media, maybe they'll unblock you in 3 days. In 3 days, we also have a very significant astrological event happening. At the time I'm recording this video, we have the shift of the North and South nodes into the sign of Aries and Libra. So that could pull in some communication. Soon thereafter, we also have both Venus and Chiron going retrograde. So that can also bring in communication from people from our past. Okay. What else, please? This is a timeless reading, however, so it could just be 3 days from when you intuitively attract the watching of this video. Another timeline, please. When else? Okay, 2 months. We also have stop obsessing, stay in a high vibration. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense with some of that 8 of Swords and 10 of Wands energy. And then, yeah, stay in high vibration is reaffirming the happiness card that came through as well. So that was another piece of guidance. But it also, yeah, where, as I said before, if we're thinking about them to the point of obsession, that can create a chasing energy. So you want to not do that. Okay. We also have Thursday, and it came out in the reverse. So it could be between 3 days from now and Thursday, or on a Thursday in the next 2 months. Okay, thank you, collective.